Last time we left off, Azuko had completely destroyed the zero pointer and basically used his smoke to reconfigure or repair the bones inside of his body. And basically, he found, a type of way to cheat his power. And he's still gonna train, but like, he'd use this instead since, he'd be getting stronger. Also, I'd like to say thank you for 970 subscribers. Yeah, join my Discord. Link will be in the description. And with that said, hit that intro.
Wanna ask his bitch ass that, but that nigga dead for real. Been a nigga block the windows down, but I like jumping out. You clap first, I'm still coming, bitch. We just gon' spark it out. Run the opposition down and knock his fucking tonsils out. Lil' bro smooth his ass, that nigga dead. That's what that chopper about. We ain't ducking shit, bitch. What it is? Let's bring them choppers out. Pull up to his crib, that's where he live. Oh yeah, we popping out. Ain't no questions asked, bitch. I'm a blast. They know I'm rocking out. When these chopper flash, boy, that's your ass. Ain't shit to talk about.
Now, anyway, as he destroys the zero pointer and repairs his arm, he wakes up completely knocked out because of wasting a lot of energy. And he's inside of the med bay, and basically sees Uraraka sitting there, and right beside her is Recovery Girl. As he gets up, he basically asks what happened, and they say that he wasted a lot of energy, basically, against the zero pointer. And they can tell that with the amount of power he used, he broke his arm. They could even hear the cracking sounds in the air, which were really loud. And basically, they saw his hand kind of purple, kind of like it was swollen and a lot of bruises, but when he woke up, all he had on his arm was really just scratches and all that. Now, at this point, they're kind of wondering how, he repaired himself. So they're just guessing he has a healing factor. So basically, Recovery Girl basically says you shouldn't be, using that arm too much for these past weeks, because you could end up causing long-term damage even if you do have a healing quirk, because even if it is a healing quirk, it doesn't just repair every injury. Like, that's not really how healing really works. There's certain things that it can't heal. So she then leaves the room as he has a conversation with Uraraka, basically. And, he basically is talking to her and she's thanking him. And basically she gives him her number and it's basically like, she's basically asking to be friends, And basically, Azuku kind of smiles and takes the, piece of paper with her phone number on it, as he says thanks. And they have a few more conversations, and then they remember that it's the end of the day and they're kind of still not home, so they're gonna be late. So she decides to walk him. Well, not she. He decides to walk Uraraka back home. And after getting her home, he walks himself back home, in which he, runs into a robbery. As the guy was robbing a 12-year-old and his mom. And basically, Azuku walked up to him and basically told him to stop. And the guy kind of turned around and said, "Mind your own business," as he aimed his red flaming hand at him. And Azuku just smiles and says, "I warned you." And as soon as he says that, he then runs towards the man. And then the man shoots his fire quirk at him, basically coming in contact with his body and exploding. Now, the guy turns back around thinking that he killed Izuku, and through all the smoke, he realizes the smoke isn't dissipating, it's going directly towards him. And as he notices this, he then sees Izuku's body basically reconstructing itself from the smoke. And basically, he just says, I really don't like turning my body into smoke. It gives me a headache. As he basically walks up to him angry and grabs him by the throat. As he then starts to pour smoke in through his throat. As the man then falls on his knees, trying to get air, but every single second he does, he inhales more and more smoke since it's being, put in through his lungs. Like, he doesn't have to physically, put the smoke into his mouth or nose. He can just, as long as he's making physical contact, he could put smoke into someone's body. So basically, the guy suffocates and it's dying, which for some reason Izuku, notices he isn't freaking out. Like, that was his first ever time, killing someone, and for some reason he completely acted like it was normal, like it was within his nature. And I'm gonna say that he has smoke coming from his eyes and mouth, and basically this smoke makes him kind of unrecognizable. And unlike, he is normally, I'm gonna say his eyes turn the color inside of this picture right here whenever he uses his smoke abilities. And whenever he doesn't, it's kind of a foggy type look. So he kind of walks away. And then he remembers, my mom told me to get food before I came back. So he just takes the money out of the guy's pocket and basically just continues walking as the two people are confused and scared. As they then call, an ambulance to, save the guy that's bleeding out on the floor. Now, Izuku gets back home and his mom basically asks what happened, and he's like, I defeated the 0 pointer. It's just the fact that I passed out from using too much energy. And basically, his mom says she's proud of him and they have a good dinner that night. Now, about a week and a half later, since he had, wasted a lot of energy, the heroes had learned from Recovery Girl that he needed a little bit more time to, regain his energy after that. And basically they decided, since he was the top scorer of the entire, place, they was going to hold back a few days. It couldn't really hurt. Now, at this point, Izuku wakes up, getting ready for the first day of UA, as he basically gets up and gets dressed. And basically, he goes downstairs and sees his mom cooking dinner as he eats dinner. And basically right after, going straight to UA, as his mom says, good luck. And, he walks. Dang, I don't know why I can't think. He basically walks, to UA, and basically, as he's walking there, he sees a bunch of people that were there, and they're all looking at him shockingly. Because people thought his main power was just smoke from the way that he was, showing. Like, it's obvious his powers have something to do with smoke, because time to time, whenever he breathes outwards, smoke kind of comes from his mouth. Kind of as you can see from the picture right here. Now, the smoke doesn't smell like anything. It's just straight up smoke. Now, basically, he goes ahead and he walks into UA and basically sees some giant doors, which are surprisingly light for people with giant quirks, but also so people without giant quirks can, push open the doors. Now, basically he finds out his class and basically goes inside the UA, well, the 1A classroom, and basically everybody looks at him shockingly, and Bakugo kind of scoffs at him, kind of being jealous that Izuku had that much power and was able to destroy basically all the 2 pointers, 3 pointers, 1 pointers, and was able to easily destroy this 0 pointer with only passing out from stamina loss. So, as everybody's talking, Izuku, since he hasn't had proper training, he just now sensed the teacher as he says, "You guys realize the teacher has been here the entire time." As he says this, everybody looks at him, confusingly, and then basically he goes and walks behind the desk and basically waking up the teacher as the teacher gets up, and everybody's shocked at this. For one, they're shocked that Eraserhead is their teacher, and for two, they're shocked that he was able to figure this out. And basically, people are just asking him, how did he figure this out? But, he has the power of the Lin Kuei. Even though, he didn't have proper training, I'm going to give him the skills of the Lin Kuei. Now, they are untrained, though. Now, this time, they actually do make it to assembly, and then they do the, quirk, basically testing their quirks. Now, basically, Izuku goes first since he had the top scores. And basically, Eraserhead says, throw this as far as you can without your quirk. And as he says this, Izuku throws it as far as he can, which since he still did, physical training, and he is normally physically stronger than a human, he gets like 6,000 without his quirk. And with his quirk, he gets Affinity. Now, everybody else does the same. For the jumping quirk, he just kind of jumps up as far as he can, which isn't really. He doesn't really have a limit. Like, he kind of just hits the roof as he turns his body into smoke, so then he won't, hurt himself. As he kind of reconfirms inside of midair and then falls back down. Now, for the strength test, he completely destroys the machine. And he was the last to go since people saw how powerful he was. And the reason why he destroys it, unlike, in the anime, is because, well, first off, he used his actual power. And, he didn't really hold back. I mean, he held back, but he didn't do it too much. So, as he does this, basically, the last test is speed. And basically, everybody's lined up. And basically, everybody goes like normal. Ida getting what looks like would be the fastest. As the teacher says, go to Izuku, as he just teleports to the other side. And the teacher instantly stops the timer, getting 1 second. Exactly. And basically, everybody's shocked by this because he's never showed the power to teleport. They think since he would have wanted to be the first one to get points, he would have teleported and then destroyed the robots, so then he would be the first to get them. But apparently, he didn't do it. He just decided he was gonna still, win with or without teleportation. So basically, everybody's just basically saying how powerful he is. And basically, he's humble, so he doesn't really brag about it, but he does, feel good from the compliments. As the day then goes to normal from original canon. and you know, they get out of school. This one I'm gonna leave it off. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do, and don't catch any diseases. Don't catch the virus. And with that said, have a good day. Goodbye.
Power I seek, and if it ain't about the money, then my nigga don't speak. I be in the lab getting immersed in these verses. I'm writing the light brighter than the white in the mime, and I'm working hard like I need an A on assignment. They copy tape like I'm Simon. No walkie-talkie, I'm stat. Hitting it from the back. Walk around with the strap. Concealed cause I can. It's a city law. Hold up, bitch, you can't, man. I pity y'all. How y'all on the streets where these niggas gonna really rob? I up the heat, aim at his meat, chili dog.